everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Jaguars going up against the Vikings. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage takes us to one of the newest jewels on the NFL landscape, U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
2 teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The numbers for him from a week ago: 17 carries, 74 yards.
As a good start to the season, they got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started, and they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Play fake. Winston. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Jameis to throw it. And he's got room. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. And the Jaguars send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention. a juke. Oh, and now he bowls him over. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 77 yards.
That's a good start to the season. They got the win, and they were able to establish a good running game. Nothing that just blew people away, but a nice solid base to get things started. And they expect that to get tuned up and get better as the season moves on.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Ooh, with a juke. Finding room inside the 40. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
To try here for the extra point. And this will be good. Off the right upright, but he got a favorable bounce, and he gets it to go. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And Hill running right through it. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And that is incomplete.
My dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at about the 14. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They are, however, facing a fourth down situation. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Let's go!
They're going to try and throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they wanted to.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to think my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that one results in 35 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this.
Let's go. Blue landing.
And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's Atkins. From the gun, he'll throw. And able to find Curley. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. Winston, and that'll make this a pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. Going to give this time to the tailback. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And the Jaguars send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And some room to roam now. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there.
All right, here we go.
But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the backside? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. get out there. You want that left tackle, or if you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. And now here's a carry heading left. Touchdown, Vikings! A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point attempt here still to come. And it's 21-3. Just a 4-play drive that time. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And they'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now, you folks don't know what you're missing. Missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On first down, Atkins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And partner, the record book for career receiving yardage has officially been rewritten.
And, Brandon, it was done not in small passes, but in big chunks all the time. This guy knew how to get downfield, create yardage, and now he sits with the record, the all-time record for receiving yardage in the NFL.
And they open the lead up now to 25 points. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second down, Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Charles. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 30 yards there. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Winston now from the 50. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Third and long for Winston. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down.
Boy, they have a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He's got his man on the crossing route. That one goes for 24 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right?
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And a look now at the game so far for Jameis Winston. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off, because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. Easy. Everyone's got 4.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Here's Winston. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guy...
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he fields it cleanly. Oh, he slipped right by him. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
He's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called, because he doesn't feel like there's going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but...
There he goes right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point attempt to follow here. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Uses the stiff arm. The Jaguars getting set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Ready, blue ready, here we go.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. That's complete. It's Charles. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. 44 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And he gets it down to the 32. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down.
I like what they were thinking on defense. Just guard the first down sticks. Don't let anyone pass that. Didn't matter whether they threw it or ran it. They just ended up rallying to the football on the running play and stopped them short of a first down.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here we go. Atkins to throw on 3rd down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team.
And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Down the numbers. There he goes. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all.
That's caught at the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
The age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out. The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now Jameis on second down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And down he'll go at the 25. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And the Jaguars send out their punter. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. That one looks like he'll throw here. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him a gain of 37. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of...
Polo to the flow though. You already know though. It's Adamville for real. You see ya, just take a photo. I'm reppin' as on photo with a on your bro though. Cause that Dodo thought that he could rob a player for some dodo. Oh no, I'm so Allen Temple. I'm so England Mountain. I'm so Mystic Valley. And I got a couple yesterday out of Cali. And my bag from the valley bought me brand new balance. And I'm playing with a no American dream. Dusty road. Man, she been riding since her daddy rode on road. I done in every hole telling every I ain't with my wife, but if she meet her, might be a go. Rick Flair flashing. Don't I look dashing? Don't I look classy? Don't act so sassy. I'm the man, boo. That's with or without you. With what your say. Show me what that.
I hear him talking reckless. I won't even stress. Just kill him softly with my press. Won't even address. They say it's lonely at the top, but this the best. Hey, don't you see me out here shining, barely flexing. I hear him talking reckless. I won't even stress. Just kill him softly with my press. Won't even address. They say it's lonely at the top, but this the best. And even if we die today, gon' live forever. Live forever.
Daddy fat say with 3 X's. Little X's, no X's on my chest, but all these diamonds got me blessed. Usually I don't do this. Dumb it down, go stupid. Since 7 17, been counting M's, my bank accounts on Goofy. Say, gave up. Now who know what the truth is? Chicago full of, my garage is full of hoop. This got that southern drawl and all that. My like ball bags. The South got something to say and all y'all can't get y'all ball back. If I ain't a hot boy, then what do you call sacks? Daddy fat, y'all never ball back. Like clocks in the wintertime, we stay eating like it's dinner time. Been feasting and feasting and feast big, but it ain't no rhyme. We don't know the meaning of drought, cause we keep it so wet, boy, I swear now it's been a while. Just speaking in general, boy, there is no formidable opponent or at that bone that never step on it. When you want it, mind the kind of giving hope when they down and out. Dig a hole so deep, ain't no climbing out.
Yeah, I hear him talking reckless. I won't even stress. Just kill him softly with my press. Won't even address. They say it lonely at the top, but it's the best. Don't you see me out here shining better flex? I hear him talking reckless. I won't even stress. Just kill him softly with my press. Won't even address. They say it lonely at the top, but it's the best. And even if we die today, don't live forever. Live forever.
Yo, listen, just like I told Coco, my vision is you already know though. So go slow, back my logo, for show, Coco. Get down on the. Yo, listen, just like I told Coco, my vision is you already know though. So go slow, back my logo, for show, Coco. Now get down on that.
I look up, so many. Oh my God. So many. I done made sacrifices. So many sacrifices. Straight up. I done gave up so much free time, knowing time ain't free. I sacrificed it. My girl showed me love, she know I made sacrifices.